Now then, in this tutorial, we're going to take a look at using luminosity mask layers in Capture One Pro version 12 in order to make adjustments to light and dark areas. And we'll use this image here. I've already done some basic adjustments to it with the curve and some levels and clarity and structure. And I've put in a couple of grads on the gradient masks to darken the upper and lower areas. I'll turn those off here. To just get a sense of what the original image looked like, if I hold down the Alt key and then hit this reset arrow up here and hold it down, then it'll temporarily take us back to what the image looked like originally. So you can see it was a lot flatter, a lot bluer. If I release those, then it brings us back to what we're at now. But I'd still like to get a little bit more separation of this laptop product here against the background. So I'm going to use the luminosity mask to do that. Now I could go in and draw a mask around it and then around the product, and then use that to make adjustments, which in this case actually wouldn't be too bad because it's a pretty simple shape to draw. But we don't always have something that's as simple as that to mask off, and that's where the luminosity mask really comes in handy. If you're trying to just tint some very specific colors or tones, it's a really nice way to go. So the way to get started with that is to create a new filled layer. So when you're creating new layers, you can either create them empty, which means you're just drawing it from scratch, or if you're going to create a fill layer, then that's going to create the mask over the entire image. So that's generally what you're going to want to do when you're doing a luminosity mask. So I've got the masking turned on. I have the shortcut key M assigned to showing the mask or not. So here we're going to set Luma Range, and we hit the Luma Range button. And at this point, you can also display and hide the mask within this dialog box. Now from here, it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to drag these sliders around until it's just highlighting the area that we want. So I want to capture really all of the silver area of the laptop as much as I can. So I'm just going to sort of fine tune it a little bit here. And then I also like to usually throw in a little bit of a radius so it's not too sharp of a distinction. And then I'm going to say apply. I'm just going to rename it. And from here, because we've still got some values that are pretty close, I'm going to want to go ahead and erase those. So I'm going to hit the E key to bring up the erase tool for the mask. And then I'm just going to go in and do some erasing here. And again, this is where for this particular shape, drawing it from scratch in some ways would be easier, but for the purposes of our demonstration, I'm using the Luma mask. And there's another benefit to this that you'll see in a minute for where I can do some other things with building off of this same Luma mask to affect other areas of the image. So I'm just going through and erasing this. I'm doing this fairly quickly. I'd do this a little bit more carefully if I was doing it for real. So now I've got my mask set up. You can turn it on and off there to see what it's going to look like. And from here, then I can go in and make other adjustments. So I'm going to turn the mask off just so I can see the adjustments. And let me zoom in a little bit more so I can see the changes. And then I can start making some color adjustments. So I want to warm up the laptop a little bit more so it stands out against a little bit more of the colder concrete. And I can also pop it up a little bit more, just use the tonal slider here in the color control will affect the brightness of just that area and that highlight. And then I can also change the saturation. So it's the same as dragging the dot around inside the color balance wheel, but it's a little easier to control sometimes to just do them separately. Okay, so that looks okay. And then what I'm going to do is I want to bring a little bit more punch to the dark areas, these sort of more gritty areas that are in here. And so what I can do with this is I can then create a new fill layer, and then I can copy the mask over from the other one. So I'm going to take the mask over from Laptop Luma. That of course will give me a mask that looks just the same as the previous one. I'm going to turn off the other one here. But then I can invert the mask. So then it's giving me everything outside of the laptop, and then I can make some additional changes based on that. So I can go in and just modify the areas that it's catching here, and I just want to kind of get some of the darker ones. So once I'm happy with that, I can say apply, turn off the mask, and then in this case all I'm going to do is just go into my curve. And generally I like to use Luma curve because it affects really just the darkness and brightness. If you're using the RGB curve, it can sometimes skew the color balance a little bit and the saturation, whereas Luma works a little bit better. So I'm just going to sort of pull that down a little bit just to create a little bit more punch. Let me just turn this, rename that layer there so I can tell the two. And then if I turn that on or off, you can just see it's only affecting the ground. It's not affecting the laptop because of how the mask was inverted. So then if I turn the laptop one back on again, so that pulls it in, it's a little bit brighter, and then I can bring in my other two grads that I've got up on the top there and the bottom. So then again, if we do the Alt and Reset key and go back to the original, you can see it's a really dramatic change from what was kind of a flat and rather blue image to something that has a lot more punch and a lot more vibrancy to it. And the laptop stands out a little bit more against the background. I could also go in and do something with the color editor. And what I want to do is pull these yellows in a little bit more, make those a little bit more saturated. You'll notice with these paintbrush icons here that it's still working off of the layer. So the ground Luma layer is still selected here. But I want to do the color change on the background layer. So I've got the shortcut Alt-B picked that will reset me back to the background layer. That was one I had to set up custom. It's not a normal one in Capture One, but I find it very useful to kind of quickly get me back to the background layer without having to go to the layers panel if I need to make a change. So in this case, I'm going to pick in the yellow area, and I can then adjust the saturation and the darkness of those, and maybe change make them a little bit more orange so they pop a little bit more. And so that's another way of making color adjustments in Capture One, is using the color editor, and I didn't have to do any masking on that one. So hopefully that's been a helpful look at how to do some work with Luma layers and use it to adjust tonal values and tinting of colors in your images.